Coming up next, more Detractor content and after that Dragon Ball Z, only on Toonami.
So I'm sure by now most people in the DSP vortex have seen the Fightcade rant and the subsequent aftermath of his little rant the other day. Now, I wanted to generally make a comment on that rant initially, but there was something specifically that happened in the night stream that DSP said that I want to really kind of respond to because what he had said really ended up getting me heated. So let's take a look at that clip real quick.
Fuck every one of you. Every one of you out there who acts like this and does this horrible things to me and my family. That's why I can't play Fightcade. That's why I can't do the normal things other streamers do. It's you. You're the problem. If you don't exist right now, if you were finger snapped out of existence, things would be better. Think about that. That all you do is you sit around, you hurt people all day long, and people would probably be happier if you would just change your behavior immediately. But you won't, because you've been doing this to me for over a decade.
So DSP, since you love to trivialize other people's lives that you don't know so often, my direct response to your statement, and I want to make sure that I make this abundantly clear, that I mean this with every ounce of my being, is that you should go die in a fire. A majority of detractors and trolls have actual jobs where they do something to contribute to society, whereas you are basically a giant leech, siphoning money and resources from other individuals who can use that money for something actually beneficial to them. You are insignificant, regardless of this superiority complex that you think you have. You are actual filth and a piece of shit. So if you actually move on to the rant in itself, it was a perfect snapshot of DSP's content. Banning people, insulting his chat, insulting people that were trying to help him, having absolute zero knowledge on anything that he was trying to talk about. He does a phenomenal job at constantly working against himself in these rants. Probably like most detractors, my initial response was going to be about how he was basically criticizing all of his fan base, calling them stupid for trying to help and suggest VPNs or other workarounds in how to actually get Fightcade to work. But the one thing that like really kind of stood out to me was when he was talking about how for 10 years his fans have suggested that he plays Fightcade, and how for 10 years he did absolutely no research into the application, how it works, any potential vulnerabilities that there may be that could, put his IP at risk. 10 years and not one single ounce of looking into this. And it basically contradicts something that he had said maybe about a month or so ago, where people were calling him out about a comment that he had made, and he said, "Oh, what, you don't think I do research on these things, and you don't think that I don't know what I'm talking about?" Given this rant, it's apparent that you don't. 10 years, didn't look into anything, and then there was a comment about looking up on Google, like how you can go around this, and you basically insult an entire search engine, saying that it's unreliable, the information on Google is useless. So if you do so you're constantly contradicting yourself, DSP. Do you do research or do you not do research? Because it's evident in everything that you do zero research. And based off of this, I don't understand how this man became valedictorian in his high school. I think if he went to my high school, the dude would have never graduated. Now, I'm not saying I went to some sort of like prestigious high school. When I went to high school, we were told as freshmen that there's a requirement for graduation. On top of, obviously, your grades having to be good, there was a mandatory senior project that required to be completed by, I think, halfway through your senior year. So you come in as a freshman, there's an assembly, they tell you this at that point, and then it's up to you to research and present a presentation within this 3.5-year deadline. The responsibility is totally on the student to select the topic, select the teacher that they want to do the presentation to, and then to get a passing grade. If DSP had to do this, based off of this Fightcade situation alone, he never would have graduated, because you're told once and then it's never mentioned to you again by the teaching staff. Maybe like a counselor will suggest it to you, like as you start to get ready for graduation, like picking colleges and stuff like that. But it's 100% on the student. And I don't think he would have been able to do it. He would have come up with some excuse being like, oh, you didn't tell me when I needed to start. You didn't tell me what I should be researching and what I should be presenting. He's incapable. We joke about how he needs to find a job and he needs to stop streaming. I don't think he's capable at all at performing any job, because every job requires some sort of critical thinking, independent research, basically just independence and ability to problem solve. And if you're telling me for 10 years you've been kicking around an idea and doing zero research and not trying to solve potential issues, he wouldn't be able to find any job, especially anything that would be able to pay him a decent living. Even being a cashier, there's some sort of problem solving that's required. He's incapable of it. DSP will never be able to provide any service to society. And, in his rant, he goes on about how, like, oh, well, how do other professional streamers do it? And they're able to play Fightcade with no worry because they don't have, all these trolls. I mean, everybody online has trolls. Everybody. Even if they're a bigger streamer that's more successful, everybody has trolls. But because DSP alienates himself from the community in general, he can't even reach out to someone to try to find suggestions or ask them how they do it. In evidence of how he banned Player Essence, OJ, generally a known figure in the Nintendo world of YouTube. He's friends with RGT, Spawnwave, that kind of group that talks a lot about Nintendo news and such. His reaction to him was incredibly disrespectful and bans him, therefore alienating himself even further. This man has zero connections that he can rely on. He's just dependent on his chat, which he then continuously pushes away because he's disrespectful to them. 1 Minute Man apparently has been gone for a while, but like if we look at his history, Super Blind Man, I think, has been gone for a while. All these whales that come and show up, he eventually drives away because he's incapable of being a decent person. Look at the Dutch brothers. He insulted their religion and didn't want to apologize because he always has to be in the right. And there goes another whale and another resource for him. So DSP, keep insulting your audience, keep calling people stupid, keep telling people to shut the fuck up and they don't know what they're talking about. It's done wonders for your career. It's truly amazing at this example you're setting for other streamers on how they should be. Because, like you said, you're successful. You've been doing this for 16 years. You're so good at this. Don't let any of us change your mind, because you're on the right track to slamming into a wall. Please. Please slam into a wall so we can laugh at your inevitable demise. Final statements on this. DSP, fuck you, fuck your mother, fuck everybody in your bloodline that decided to get together and provided any sort of genetic code to you. That entire bloodline of yours is actual garbage. Go fuck yourself, as always. Anyway, goodbye.